Welcome to our program. I'm Tony Noakes.
And I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh.
This segment of our program is about Roundup weed and grass killer. So, Dr. Wendy, can you tell us about the problems our viewers should be aware of if they have been exposed to this product?
Sure, Tony. Now, Roundup weed and grass killer is manufactured by Monsanto Company, and it's a company recently acquired by Bayer for over $60 billion. It was introduced in 1974 as a way to kill weeds while leaving crops and plants intact. And it's sold in 160 countries worldwide. It's one of the most popular herbicides on the market, with over 1.4 billion pounds used every year. Now, the problem with the product is that it's been designated by the World Health Organization as a probable human carcinogen because its main ingredient, glyphosate, is a carcinogen that's said to cause non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, today, Roundup is sprayed on nearly every acre of corn, cotton, and soybeans grown in the United States.
Oh, that's a huge risk factor for sure from a product so widely used. So, what is non-Hodgkin's lymphoma?
Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is a type of blood cancer that affects white blood cells, which are an important part of our immune system. Because lymphocytes circulate throughout most of the body, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma can occur nearly anywhere in the body. However, it usually develops in the lymph nodes, which are masses of tissue that store lymphocytes and eliminate harmful bacteria from our bodies.
Dr. Wendy, that sounds very serious. So, how many people are diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma?
Well, according to the American Cancer Society, they estimate that for 2018, over 74,000 people will be diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, with nearly 20,000 deaths caused by this disease. Now, it's unknown which percentage of cases are associated with exposure to chemicals, of course.
Has the World Health Organization issued any reports on this?
Oh, they certainly have. In March of 2015, the International Agency Research on Cancer, which is the cancer research arm of the World Health Organization, issued a report published in Lancet Oncology, which declared that the glyphosate contained in Roundup probably causes cancer in humans. Glyphosate was also added to California's list of known human carcinogens, effective July 7, 2017, according to the Office of Environmental Health Hazard Assessment. And in New York, Monsanto agreed to stop falsely advertising Roundup weed killer as safe when studies indicate otherwise.
I'm thinking there must be a number of lawsuits that have been filed as a result of the problems with Roundup.
Oh, you're thinking right, Tony. There have been. In fact, the latest number of Roundup glyphosate-related lawsuits have ballooned to over 8,000. Now, after denying Monsanto's motion for a new trial, the final award was eventually reduced to $78.5 million in October of 2018. This is still the largest glyphosate Roundup award so far. Additional individual and class action lawsuits have been filed after this verdict, based on allegations that Monsanto knew about the link between exposure to Roundup and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and simply failed to warn consumers.
If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after being exposed to Roundup weed killer or glyphosate herbicide, you need to call the number on your screen now, as you may be entitled to significant compensation for your injuries.
This is a legal alert for users of Roundup weed killer. Roundup weed killer has been designated as a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. And in July 2018, a judge determined that all federal lawsuits could move forward against Monsanto, the maker of Roundup weed killer, over concerns that those exposed to Roundup are at risk for developing non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And in a landmark $289 million verdict in August 2018, a jury concluded that Monsanto's Roundup weed killer and Ranger Pro herbicides contributed to a school groundskeeper's non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Roundup weed killer is the most commonly used weed killer in American agriculture. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after being exposed to Roundup or a glyphosate herbicide, you may be entitled to compensation. How do you fight for the compensation you deserve? You choose the right legal team that has the experience, support staff, and resources to seek the most compensation for your injuries. Call now.
This is a paid advertisement for Napoli Shkolnik, PLLC,